it's definitely the most exciting thing I've done in a while. We are climbing a ladder into an old pillbox, defending the Atlantic from the Germans. Members of the barrio, what's going on? It's John, and we are inside of Fort Tilden right now, an abandoned military base in Queens, right on the Atlantic. And for the first time on this channel, we're going to be doing a little bit of urban exploring, and my friend Jacob Carlson's going to be showing us around a lot of the secret little areas here. He's made 3 separate videos, so I'm going to show you a different side of New York, a side that I think a lot of tourists probably never would know about. So let's check this out. Look at this place. We are in an old warehouse, and I'm going to bring in Jacob to tell you what's going on.
This is an abandoned warehouse. I'm not sure what it used to be, but if I had to guess, I would guess it's like a service depot for vehicles based on all of the garage bay doors.
We've got Tal here from the Traveling Clat, and it's both of our first times exploring this abandoned warehouse. I'm a little bit creeped out. I mean, I don't know. I don't usually explore this type of thing in New York. How are you feeling right now?
I mean, it's pretty tame. I've been to a few abandoned places, not a bunch, but it's pretty tame. It's just a lot of graffiti, but I like how cool it is and that it was free to just come and enter.
The graffiti artists left their spray cans here. Since Jacob's been here before, he told us that this old staircase we're walking up is safe. So we're gonna go check it out right now.
Keep your head down a little bit right here.
Yeah.
You can see how old everything is up here. Super old radiator. You got the heaters. Even the outlets and stuff like that are really old. It's very cool. And you can see the city too.
You can, you guys, look, you can see Manhattan right up there.
I have a good sense of what's safe and what's not, and what's legal and what's not. I would definitely recommend coming out to Fort Tilden, checking it out. We'll show you some other stuff that's a little bit it's a little more tame and easier and more accessible. For this kind of stuff, I would stay away from this. Again, I'm more experienced. I've been in here and then invited before. If you haven't, just don't do it.
Okay. Informational purposes only, folks. Yeah. We are on our way to the old military installations, yes. The stuff facing the beach. This is the stuff I've seen pictures of online, and I'm a big history buff. You know, World War II, World War I, all that stuff intrigues me, and we're gonna show you a bit of that history right now. Jacob, anything you want to tease them with?
We're gonna see everything from supply depots to gun batteries, like massive like anti-air gun batteries, to underground bunkers. It's gonna be really cool.
Amazing.
There was a whole railroad system that ran through here that took like supply trains essentially from building to building. This was one of them. You'll see when we get in there how it was sort of carved out in the middle to allow people to work on either side and put stuff into whatever it was.
All right, guys, you ready? Stop number 1.
So this whole center area, there's probably railroad tracks you can see. No, I don't know if that might be from the ceiling, but it's so freaking cool. They would bring in like cars and that kind of stuff, and they could load them from the side, and then move on to the next place.
So for like ammunition?
Yeah, things like that. One thing I will say with these buildings that you have to look out for, obviously you can see the ceiling is sort of falling in. You want to be careful with that, just sort of avoid that, and also don't lean on any of these poles. You can see that is what's supporting this specific area.
Yeah, don't touch that. Good idea.
So don't lean on the poles. Don't try to go up to the roof. That kind of stuff. But otherwise, if you're just walking through here, it's relatively safe. Just be careful.
Visiting New York City, you would not expect to find this sort of structure around, but it's part of the history of the city. All right, we are exploring yet another building here. Highly recommend you bring good like hiking shoes. Don't come in here in heels or flip-flops or whatever else crazy idea you would have. because the ground is not stable and you're stepping on glass and other things constantly, like. Alright, so we are approaching one of the really cool parts of Fort Tilden that I've researched, called Battery Harris, and it first went into service in 1924. Jacob's gonna show us where they had the guns encased here. I mean, this was actually to point at the beach in case the Germans would attack. And it's just sitting here, no one else is around. This could be one of the coolest things I've ever seen in New York City. Not even joking.
Big, huge circle had a massive gun pointing that way, and you had multiple guys, multiple men that could turn the gun that direction or that direction, and it just filled up this whole area and it pointed out that way. But like I said, the reason they had this big cement structure is to prevent any, and if anybody were to capture this, the Germans were to storm the beach and capture this, they wouldn't be able to take the gun and turn it around and shoot at New York City because of this big cement structure.
The city actually built this staircase and this little observation area up here, totally open to the public, and just an incredible view in this direction of the Manhattan skyline, in this direction of the Atlantic. And that's what the gun down there would have been looking at. I also want to note that not only did this have a big historical significance during World War I and World War II, but also during the Cold War, there were Nike missile sites here. So essentially, Fort Tilden's job was to guard New York City, and luckily, it never actually had to be used for those reasons. So I see the American flag down there, which is exactly where we're going, apparently, according to Jacob, our expert tour guide. That is the right direction, right?
That is the bunker.
That is the bunker, folks.
That is un bunker. Bunker.
All right, we are about to walk into this old bunker. Kids, don't try this at home.
What do you think, Joe? It's pretty cool.
People have definitely lived here for a little while. I don't know who. Kind of don't want to find out.
Wow, that's pretty deep. Look at these two rooms right here. I'm surprised at how deep this place goes.
Dude, this is like a old ass bathroom.
Is this a bathroom? Yeah, good. It's creepy.
What is this?
So this last step is a little wonky, so just be careful. And then you see how there's like that gap there? So this is where I think that they would store the munitions and stuff, if I had to guess. Just because they have these like cement platforms and stuff. This is where I would guess that they would store all the munitions.
Oh my goodness, this is so freaking cool.
Pointing, and then it's just that. It's creepy, right? Oh man, this is horrible.
I'm agreeing with Tal. I really wouldn't recommend you coming to this particular place unless you're with someone that knows what they're doing. Me and Tal aren't those people. Jacob is, so just be very careful.
Well, Jacob's now run off and he's gonna try to scare us. Uh-oh, so that's fun. And he's gonna succeed.
We've just come out of the bunker. We've got one final stop to show you guys. Actually inside of a pillbox facing the Atlantic. And this is the part I was most excited about after seeing pictures and Jacob's videos. So we're gonna climb up right now. Right, guys, so we are approaching the pillbox. And as you can see, it's kind of like the perfect spot to be hidden a bit from, I guess, enemy airplanes or enemy boats coming here, right amongst the shrubs. Been guarding the beach for almost 100 years.
Welcome to the
Freezing in here. Minus all the graffiti, this actually feels to me like you're in a war movie. You're facing the Atlantic right here, looking for submarines and ships dropping off troops, even though it never happened, as far as troops landing right here specifically. There were German spies that did make it to Long Island, however, very close by. So this is where you'd put the gun. This is your view out to sea. Look at this. Members of the barrio, what an incredible afternoon spent exploring Fort Tilden. It's this gem right in New York City, but it feels a world apart. If you're a history buff like I am, you've got to put this on your list. Just use common sense when visiting here, please. Guys, make sure to check out my New York City playlist for a lot of cool ideas and things to do on your next trip here. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Until next time.